Hi, welcome back to the Reset Room, your space to reflect, reset, and realign. I'm SO, and today we're wrapping up our series on boundaries and respect with an episode that may just change everything. Let's be real, setting boundaries is hard. But you know what's even harder? What comes after? The silence, the pushback, the cold shoulder, the guilt trip. You finally say, I can't make it tonight. And suddenly, someone's upset. You speak your truth, and suddenly, you're difficult. You honor your energy, and someone says, you've changed. So today, I want to talk to the version of you who's wondering, did I do something wrong? And the short, quick answer to that is, no, you didn't. I'm going to show you why their discomfort isn't your fault and how to hold your boundary anyway. So let's reset together. Let's start with some truth. When you start setting boundaries, not everyone will clap for you. Some people will resist, some people will retreat, and some people will get angry. But here's the thing, it's not because your boundary is wrong. It's because your boundary challenges the benefit they used to receive from your lack of one. When you were always available, when you said yes even when it hurt you, when you overgave and overextended, they got used to that version of you. And now that you're reclaiming your peace, they feel a loss, and they may try to make that loss your fault. But it's not. You're not being unkind. You're being clear. You're not punishing them. You're protecting yourself. It's also important to say this. Just because someone reacts poorly to your boundary doesn't automatically make them a bad person. In most cases, it's simply a natural human reaction to change. They are adjusting to a new version of the relationship, one with more clarity, more limits, and more mutual respect. And here's the thing, if you stay consistent, loving, but firm, most people will adapt. Over time, they learn your boundaries are not a rejection of them, but a reflection of you honoring yourself. But if you waver, if you cave in or start sending mixed signals, they may start to believe your boundaries aren't real. And ironically, that inconsistency can hurt more than the boundary itself. People feel safer when they know what's true, and consistency builds that safety. I remember a friend I'd known for years. We had this unspoken rhythm where I was always the listener. I held space, I offered advice, I showed up no matter what. And then one day, I was going through something heavy. And I said, I don't have the capacity for that conversation today. All of a sudden, the vibe changed immediately. They replied, wow, you're not who you used to be. And they were right, I wasn't. I was learning to honor myself. I was healing from self-abandonment. And if that meant they couldn't access me in the same way, they were also right. The dynamic had changed. It hurt, but it taught me that not everyone is meant to grow with you. Some people are only comfortable with the version of you that doesn't honor yourself. And you don't need to go back to that version to make them comfortable. I'll repeat it again though. Relationships don't have to always end or go sour when boundaries are being set. Here's a coaching truth I want you to sit with. Their discomfort is not your emergency. You are not responsible for managing someone else's emotional reaction to your boundary. Let me say that again. You are not responsible for someone else's emotional reaction to your boundary. You can be compassionate, you can be kind, but you don't have to shrink yourself to keep them calm. If your boundary makes them uncomfortable, that's a reflection of them, not a rejection of you. You've spent enough time explaining, defending, diluting the truth. Now it's time to trust it. So now, let's make this real. Here's what you can remind yourself of in the moment when someone doesn't like your boundary. I've got 3 points I'll share with us. Number 1, this discomfort is temporary, but my peace is permanent. You can write that down. See, people may react in the moment, but you're building long-term emotional health. Setting boundaries often brings an immediate wave of discomfort, guilt, anxiety, even fear of conflict. But that's completely normal. What's important is remembering that those feelings are transient. They pass. But what you gain when you stay rooted in your boundary is something far deeper. You gain peace, clarity, and emotional regulation. See, these are long-term benefits that create internal safety. Here's a coaching insight for you to hold on to. You're choosing momentary discomfort now to avoid months or maybe even years of resentment, burnout, and disconnection. You're breaking a pattern, and yes, that can feel uncomfortable, but it's worth it. Number 2, practical reminder. I don't need their permission to protect my well-being. Again, write that down. See, approval is optional. Self-respect is not. So many of us were conditioned to think that kindness means getting permission to step back. We want others to understand and agree with our limits before we enforce them. But true self-respect means taking care of yourself whether or not others get it. You don't need everyone to approve your boundary for it to be valid. You only need you to know why it matters. So here's a coaching reminder. People may not like your boundaries, but you weren't made to be manageable. You were made to be whole. Protecting your well-being isn't rude, it's a requirement. My 3rd practical reminder for you to note down. I'd rather lose someone than lose myself again. See, because if your boundary breaks the relationship, it was built on imbalance, not love. This is one of the hardest truths to sit with. Sometimes setting a boundary reveals the true nature of a relationship, not by what you said, but by how the other person responds. If the relationship falls apart because you asked for space, respect, or consideration, then it wasn't truly reciprocal to begin with. It's painful, yes, but it's also a gift because it saves you from slowly eroding your identity to keep someone else comfortable. And here's a coaching truth. You've already abandoned yourself before. Now you're choosing differently. And if that means losing people who only loved the unboundaried version of you, you're not really losing, you're becoming. So here's something to dwell on, to reflect, reset, and realign. If you're scared of losing them, ask yourself, are you really losing a person or the version of you they benefited from? I'll repeat that. If you're scared of losing them, ask yourself, am I really losing this person or the version of me that they benefited from? Let's talk about what happens after the pushback. When you stand firm, 3 things often occur. Number one, the dynamic adjusts. Sometimes, people rise to meet your new standard. It might take time, but mutual respect grows eventually. Number two, the relationship fades. See, some people will quietly exit, and that's okay. Let it be a lesson in what your energy deserves. And number three, you become more grounded. Your self-trust deepens. You no longer rely on others to define your worth. See, the more you hold your boundary, the more natural it becomes. And you stop asking, do they like me? And you start asking, do I feel good in this interaction? That's growth. That's healing. That's home. Here's the reset I want to leave you with. You're not wrong for changing. You're not selfish for setting limits. You're not bad for protecting your peace. You're just becoming more you. Some people won't like it. Some people won't understand it. But the people meant for you, real, aligned, respectful people, they will love you even more because of it. And if someone walks away because of your boundary, let them go. You're not losing love. You're clearing space for true connection. And that's your birthright. Thank you for walking through the Boundaries and Respect series with me. We've explored guilt, clarity, discomfort, and growth. And most of all, we've learned how to come home to ourselves. So please leave a comment below on what boundary has changed your life the most. And let us share with one another experiences that we can all learn from. If this episode and series has given you a renewed hope in rediscovering yourself, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share with someone who needs some reassurance. Up next on the Reset Room, we're starting a brand new series, Understanding Your Worth, because boundaries are just the beginning. There, we will uncover the beliefs and truths that make you whole. So, again, please click on the bell icon to get notified when this comes out. Until then, continue to protect your peace, prioritize your preservation, and remember, you are your first home. This is the Reset Room, and I'm glad you're here. See you on the next one.